The palm trees of our neighborhood. The palm trees in our neighborhood weren't native to the region, yet they stood tall and proud, seemingly untouched by the harsh winters and scorching summers. They were relics of another era, planted by settlers who dreamed of transforming the landscape into a lush, tropical paradise. As children, we were enchanted by these majestic trees. They held an exotic allure, their long fronds waving gently in the breeze, casting intricate patterns of light and shadow on the ground below. They became the backdrop for many of our games and the subject of numerous neighborhood legends. Old Mr. Roberts, who lived in the big white house on Elm Street, often spoke of his grandfather, one of the original settlers. According to him, these palm trees were imported from a distant tropical island, carried across vast oceans and treacherous terrain to be planted here. His stories painted images of brave men battling storms and disease to bring a piece of the tropics to our otherwise temperate town. But it wasn't just the tales of yore that gave these trees their aura. It was also the more contemporary stories we wove around them. There was the summer of '98 when the local kids built an elaborate treehouse amongst the fronds of the largest palm. Or the winter of 2005 when young lovers etched their initials into the bark, promising undying love. The palm trees also became a silent witness to the myriad changes the neighborhood underwent. They watched as old houses were torn down to make way for sleek apartment complexes, as roads widened and traffic increased. Yet, through all these transformations, the palms remained, steadfast and unwavering. However, as the years rolled by, there were murmurs about the palm trees' futures. The newer residents didn't see their value. To them, the palms were out of place, remnants of a bygone era that served no real purpose. There were talks about removing them to make way for more useful plants or infrastructures. This potential threat united our community like never before. Petitions were circulated, town meetings were organized, and children and adults alike rallied to the cause. The palms, it turned out, weren't just trees. They were symbols of our shared history, markers of time, and reservoirs of collective memories. A breakthrough came when a local university expressed interest in studying the trees. They believed that the palms could provide insights into climate adaptability and resilience. This academic interest, coupled with the community's fierce protection, ensured that the palm trees were safe, at least for the foreseeable future. Today, the palm trees of our neighborhood stand taller than ever, not just in height but in significance. They remind us of the importance of preserving history, of the beauty in the seemingly mundane, and of the power of community. They aren't just trees, they are a testament to time, tenacity, and the indomitable human spirit. In dangerous water. Serena always considered herself a strong swimmer. As a child, she'd spend her summers at her grandparents' coastal house, diving off the old wooden jetty into the sapphire depths below. Her parents often recalled how, even as a toddler, she showed no fear of the water, paddling happily in the shallows while other children clung desperately to their parents. Years passed, and Serena's bond with the water deepened. By her mid-teens, she had competed at national swimming championships, and there was talk of the Olympics in hushed, hopeful tones among her trainers. But her true love was the ocean. Its unpredictability, its vastness, and the way the waves whispered stories of ancient mariners and forgotten shipwrecks. She'd often dive, exploring hidden underwater caves and mingling with the marine life that inhabited them. One summer afternoon, Serena and her friends decided to explore a part of the coastline that was largely untouched due to its reputation for being treacherous. Legends told of experienced swimmers and fishermen who never returned, swallowed by the water's unpredictable currents. They reached a secluded bay, its beauty amplified by the surrounding cliffs. The water was deceptively calm, an azure mirror reflecting the summer sky. Without hesitation, Serena dived in, her body slicing through the surface. However, beneath that calm exterior, currents seethed and swirled. Serena felt it tug at her almost immediately, pulling her deeper and further from shore. Panic surged as she realized she was in a riptide, a dangerous current that could drag even the strongest swimmer out to sea. She remembered her training: don't fight the current, swim parallel to the shore. Yet, each stroke felt futile as the water's grip tightened. Her lungs screamed for air, her limbs growing heavier. Dark spots clouded her vision, and a chilling thought crossed her mind: would the ocean she loved so dearly be her end? Suddenly, a strong hand gripped her arm. Through her blurred vision, she saw Jake, one of her friends and an equally adept swimmer. Using a combination of their strength and the buoyancy of a nearby floating log, they managed to break free from the riptide's grasp, gasping for air as they reached shallower waters. Back on the shore, Serena lay exhausted, the gravity of her close call sinking in. The bay, with its serene beauty, held a deceptive danger beneath, a lesson she learned the hard way. The experience changed something in Serena. While her love for the ocean remained, it was now tinged with a deep respect for its power. She began advocating for ocean safety, holding workshops, and sharing her story, turning her harrowing experience into a beacon of education for others. In Dangerous Water became not just an account of her close encounter with death but a reminder of the ocean's unpredictable nature, a force that demands respect and understanding, no matter how familiar one might be with its depths. Incredible beauty. Dr. Clara Hartfield, an archaeologist, had spent the last 2 decades uncovering ancient relics in the dusty deserts of Egypt. Each artifact she unearthed told stories of past civilizations, their traditions, their beliefs, and their understanding of beauty. In her most recent expedition, Clara came across a cryptic map that hinted at an undiscovered temple dedicated to Atha, the ancient Egyptian goddess of beauty, music, and love. If the temple truly existed, it promised not only historical insights but perhaps some ancient secrets about the very essence of beauty itself. Accompanied by a team of dedicated scholars and locals, Clara began her journey, traveling on camelback for days under the scorching sun, facing sandstorms and challenging terrains. But her determination was unwavering. After a week, they stumbled upon an entrance hidden behind a cascade of sand and rocks. As they entered the temple, it was as if they had stepped into another realm. Majestic pillars carved intricately with hieroglyphics, mural paintings that seemed to come alive with their vibrant colors, and statues that bore a semblance of divine grace greeted them. In the heart of the temple, Clara found a chamber sealed tightly. With bated breath, they opened it to reveal a vast room filled with mirrors. But these were not ordinary mirrors. Each mirror reflected a different version of the person standing before it. Some mirrors showed younger versions, some older, some with different hairstyles or clothing, but each one radiated an incredible beauty. Clara stood before one, seeing herself as she was in her youth, radiant and full of dreams. Another mirror displayed her much older, wrinkles lining her face, but her eyes sparkled with wisdom and experiences. Every reflection told a story, a different chapter of one's life. It became evident that the temple was not just a dedication to the goddess Itha, but also a testament to the idea that beauty existed in every phase of life. It wasn't just about the symmetry of the face or the youthfulness of the body. Beauty was the sum of experiences, lessons learned, love gained and lost, and dreams pursued. Word of the temple spread, and soon people from all over came to see their reflections, to understand and appreciate the beauty in their journey and in themselves. It became a place of introspection, acceptance, and love. Clara realized that her discovery was not just about unearthing an ancient structure, but about revealing an eternal truth. Beauty wasn't just skin deep, it was soul deep. It wasn't transient, it was timeless. She documented her findings, but more than the artifacts, it was the lesson of the temple that she carried with her. Incredible beauty became a symbol, a story that Clara shared with the world, emphasizing that true beauty lies in accepting and cherishing every version of oneself. Dark streets. The narrow alleys of Lush Town were not for the faint of heart. Once a bustling hub of trade and culture, the town had seen better days. Over time, it had earned its reputation as a place where one should tread with caution, especially after sunset. The maze-like streets were dimly lit, creating shadows that seemed to have a life of their own. Roberto, a journalist with a penchant for uncovering urban legends, had recently moved to Lush Town. He was fascinated by the tales of the Whispering Shadows, an entity or phenomenon that many claimed to have encountered in the darkest parts of Lush Town streets. It was said that those who walked alone in these parts would hear faint whispers in their ears, guiding them, warning them, or sometimes just talking in undecipherable murmurs. Some said it was the town's way of speaking to its inhabitants, some believed it was lost souls seeking closure, while others dismissed it as mere hallucinations. One evening, armed with a recorder and his unwavering curiosity, Roberto decided to venture into the infamous Black Lane Street, the heart of all whispered tales. The chill in the air was palpable as the last hues of twilight faded, giving way to an inky darkness. For the first few minutes, Roberto felt a bit silly walking alone and trying to catch ethereal voices on tape. But as he delved deeper, a soft murmur reached his ears. Startled, he stopped to listen closely. The whisper grew clearer, "Turn back, not safe." Roberto felt a shiver down his spine. Was it the Whispering Shadows? Or was his mind playing tricks? He continued onward, navigating through the labyrinth of streets, guided solely by the whispers. They led him past derelict buildings, under stone arches, and through courtyards with forgotten fountains. Suddenly, he stumbled upon a scene that looked like it was straight out of a bygone era. A hidden square, bathed in the soft glow of lanterns, where people danced to the tune of a melancholic violin. The whispers had vanished, replaced by laughter and song. As he approached, an elderly woman greeted him. "You've found the heart of Lush Town," she said with a kind smile. "The whispers you heard, they are our ancestors guiding lost souls to this haven, protecting them from the real dangers of the dark streets." Roberto spent the night dancing, listening to tales of old, and understanding the true essence of Lush Town. The whispers were not to be feared but to be heeded. As dawn approached, the square and its inhabitants seemed to fade away, leaving Roberto alone in the streets. But he wasn't lost or afraid. The whispers guided him back to the known parts of Lush Town, a gentle reminder that sometimes, legends are rooted in truths far more profound than we can comprehend. And so, Roberto's article on the Whispering Shadows became a tribute not to the eerie tales of Lush Town but to its undying spirit, its history, and the whispers that kept its heart beating.